Awesome. So as I was saying before, look, Auckland house painters as an example. This example is Kent house painting. So someone's searching for that. It's a very common search people do in Auckland for house painters. And you've got right at the top here, as per normal, you've got the map listing now, right? And you've got 3 other competitors here today who are coming up, right? Now, what we want to do is say, well, look, okay, firstly, where is Kemp appearing today?
Sure.
Right, and where is the opportunity here for Kemp? So what we can do is we can come into and look at different search phrases. So interior house painters Auckland, or we can look at house painters Auckland here. And we can go down and see, look, this is where they're situated on Google as far as Google's concerned. And you can see this is where their current listing is on the Google Maps today.
So what does the 20 plus mean?
Yeah, good question. So that means that they're 20th or worst on the list.
Oh, okay, so 20 is bad.
Correct, yeah, and you can see that they've got some, they're getting up to 14, 17, 18. Now that's indication that they've got some opportunity here. However, remember, you've got to be only the top 3 come up on the first page. Very few people will go on to see more. So this is the opportunity here to get top 3.
They're 14 from the top.
Correct, yep. So,
right, or at least 17 from the top.
100%.
Yeah,
so then we can have a look here and we can say, well, look, as I was saying before, this is not always so going. Yeah.
So you're telling me, so I'm going to use a mouse.
Yeah.
So you're telling me if I'm standing there.
Yes, correct.
And I search up, what was the search phrase?
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Yeah, if you search for house painters Auckland.
And I'm standing right there.
Yes.
I'm going to be 17 down the list.
17th on the list, correct, yeah. So it's really important for us to understand where we are today and also where the competitors are today as well. So what we can do here, if I then come in over here on the competitors, for example, you can see here another competitor, Auckland City Painters. They've got 1, 2, 3. This is where the phone calls are going today.
Right.
So people searching for...
Are they clicking on them?
House painters Auckland?
Is it just appearing at the top?
Well, so this means that this shows you where they're appearing.
Right.
So if we're looking for house painters Auckland and I'm sitting over in Remuera, they're going to come out number 1, or if I'm in Green Lane, number 2.
I'm just going to use the mouse because if we're recording it.
Yeah, totally. Yep. So they're going to be. That means that is an indication. Obviously, the ranking means they're going to get the visits. Remember, 15% of people who are searching are going to click on their. On average through to their website, or
so more of the pie. So the higher you're ranking, you get more of the pie. So if they're standing in St. John's, Remuera, they'll be appearing at number 1. If they're standing over in Beach Haven, they're appearing at number 10. And if they're in Glen Eden, they're appearing at 17.
Correct.
Is that what this map shows me?
100%, right. And you know from your own experience, if you're looking for something like this, right, on your mobile, House Painters Auckland, how often do you go see more on the maps and go to the? You're basically going to be. You're really doing
research if you're really doing research by then.
Yeah. So what we then do if we're looking after a client and we're wanting to work with them to get them up in the rankings against their competitors, is we plug into our own software and use our own system, and we're running AI through that as well, and we're looking at what are all of these data points on the competitors for every search phrase that's been searched for the relevant search phrases that have search volume people are looking for, and where are the opportunities for clients. So for example, if we can look at a competitor and go, look, this competitor here is weak in this category compared to this other competitor, and we can leapfrog them by putting in a category here, or by putting in posts here that have relevant content around, for example, we're targeting around Newmarket house painters, and looking at links around backing up that Newmarket locale with Google, then we'll start seeing them increase in the rankings above their competitors. And what we see traditionally when we run these campaigns is you'll see in month 1 you'll start out and you'll have you may have some visibility around here. Unfortunately for Kemp at this point they don't yet. And then as we run month to month, we have we have a trend report, and we can see this is where your visibility is month 1. This is where it is month 2, month 3, and we start seeing that go from red to orange, and then when we go to green, the top 3, we see that translate into phone calls, and we can track those phone calls too. We can track the whole lot to see exactly what is that return.
So, and what kind of, what kind of information gets fed to make this better?
Right, you mean in regards to the data that we're pulling out?
Yeah.
What
how does one move up the ranks?
So we're literally pulling just about anything you can think of around the Google Business Profiles around competitors. So we're scraping all of that information, and we're looking at every data point from what are their categories to what are their what's their content on there, to their ranking positions across all of those things. And so there's several things that make a difference, and there's lots, but to speak broadly to it, the main areas to work with on a client to get up in the rankings is, and we do all this for the client, of course, is that is content. So it's having regular content that is relevant and tactical around the keywords that people are looking for to help Google go, oh, I can trust that when someone around Parnell is looking for this cafe, that I can see that they have a lot of content around that, backing that up. The second thing is adding trust with Google around backlinks. So that's building links from other well-regarded sites and building that back and referring back to the Google Business Profile itself. What we do differently than any other agency as well, as far as I know, is we also do a lot of work on the website itself but not to necessarily have, in this case, to have the website ranking, but to back up that Google Business Profile for ranking well. So things like some simple things are, making sure we've done the right embedding of the maps in the website, but right through to not to get technical, but schema, like work with the technical data that the Google bots read to then refer back correctly to your Google Business Profile and add trust again to that. Right. There's several things, but it basically is it's like any SEO work in regards to it does take time, and the idea is we can go from like position 20 or worse up to 10 to 15, like to 7 to 3, and then
the rank,
and then we're getting the calls for the client. Yeah.
Sure. So, okay, let's say they're not quite ready to come to you because they're just wanting. No, they're doing so much stuff. What is some things that they can do themselves right now that could enhance their that map? Yeah,
good question. Okay, yeah. So the first thing to do is just you absolutely can do some things yourselves, and it actually means less than people think. But if you haven't got any reviews, go and ask your clients.
Google reviews?
Correct. Google reviews. Go and ask your clients for reviews, and one simple way, and Google helps this, is if you're the owner of your Google Business Profile, so if you're the business owner, there is a section there which, if you type in your business name, you'll see your Google Business Profile edit options up there. And one of those options in there around expand or mark, I'll look at that, there's a QR code download. So one thing I recommend to a lot of clients, if they're a tradie, for example, a lot of what tradies do is that they'll put a link to the Google Business Profile on their invoice, for example, when they send to clients. Now, fine, great, but they generally have a pretty low hit rate on getting a review at that point, because I'm not sure about you or me, but I don't like paying the invoice. It's usually at the point where it's last thing, I'll get through some admin things. The last thing I'm going to do is then take my busy time and expand it by putting a review on. Whereas if someone's come along for a job and they've given me a card with a QR code on there, said, hey, look, how was that? That's great, thank you. Could you do us a favour, do us a quick review with your phone, on the camera?
Yeah.
It's so easy for them to give a review at that point. So one thing you can do is if you're not doing anything today, is try to get some Google reviews by doing that. And
is there a set number? Is there like a number that do I need 100? Do I need 50?
No, you don't, and we can see this too, and you can see this yourself. If you look and do these searches, you'll see often someone who's got 2 reviews might rank above someone who's got 50. So it doesn't matter as much as people think about the number. Google will look at the content of those reviews, which is harder to control. Yeah, they'll look at things like, hey, this painted a great job for me in Ellerslie, I fully recommend them. And they'll link up Painter and Ellerslie for people to search. So there's things like this, but it's hard to affect that. The other thing you can do is just make sure that that you do just spend, and it's a bit of a pain, but you spend a bit of time with it, even if you don't know exactly what you're doing, and making sure that you fill out every single thing in your Google Business Profile. And the third thing is make sure you're accurate about the hours. So Google will pay attention to the hours that you work. Now, some people think, well, cool, I'm just going to go, like if I'm a trade, I want to go 24 hours on my Google's profile, right?
That's what I've done. I've got any time or 24 hours,
Now, if you do 24 hours, great, because that means that someone searching after hours, Google will look at your hours and they'll bring you up. However, if you don't do after hours, what Google also does, and they are constantly updating their algorithms, right? What they also do is that they will see that somebody has clicked a call on you, and that you haven't actually
answered, or you haven't actually responded.
They haven't actually.
And it's a bad mark for you.
It's a bad mark for you. So you do want to be honest around your opening hours. You want to keep that up to date. And the last thing is, is if you really want to go after this, you do want to have regular content on there. So you got to use that post function. Not many people do that.
No. So because not many people do that, I guess right now would be a great time to actually start hitting it. Especially if it's affecting business.
Totally, and I think I can see this is at the moment is an opportunity for businesses, and it's probably I feel like it's probably going to be a bit like Google Ads, where if you did this 10 years ago, it was a great time to do Google Ads. Right?
Yes, yeah.
You can still make money off it.
Super cheap.
Totally. Now it's really efficient market. Google's ramped up the prices. It's going to happen. It's going to be more competition in the future around this local SEO Google Map listings. But now it's like the new gold rush as far as online goes.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And okay, thanks for all the information,
awesome.
by the way.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
Absolutely. Chat to Dave. But if someone was to look for a digital helper, a company out there to help them with their business, what should they look out for? How do you know that someone can help you? How do you know they're not, again, a cowboy? What are some of the signs that you feel that they should be asking their digital marketing person?
That's a good question. A few things, I think. So some of the common things I see, some of the common traps I see is, firstly, always, so if someone's running Google Ads, a Google Ad campaign for you, there's never a good so they should always be running it in the account that you own. You should be able to see the actual Google Ads account, which is, and you be the owner, and you invite that agency in as a manager or as an admin to manage that campaign for you. I've seen there's loads and loads of examples still today where an agency will say it's going to be this much per month, and they'll bill them, but they won't give them any access to that Google AdWords account, and they won't do it in their own Google AdWords. They'll do it in their own Google AdWords account, the agency's account, not in one that the client owns. The only reason that an agency would be doing that, because there's lots of reasons why you wouldn't do that, including the amount you pay per click, and I don't want you to do that too much, but the only reason you'd be doing that is because you've got hidden margins, and you're charging more than you're being transparent around that, right?
Sure, so more than the management fee.
Yeah, so if it doesn't really answer the question of what we look for, I would, I mean, look, it is difficult. It's difficult to know who. I think if you can, there's most agencies scale through working out a way that they can sell a good service, sell a good system, right? As opposed to scale through word of mouth and through doing great work. And I'm generalising here, but that is often what I've seen in the world. So the first thing, if I was, without knowing anything about the space, first thing I'd be wanting to know is the person I'm talking to around this, are they just the salesperson who generally still is incentivised for new business? So they are incentivised to sell as much as they can, no matter how long that person's going to stay with them, because they get paid up front around getting the deal or getting that client aboard. So definitely want to be working with someone who is either been around for a while or is ideally the owner or that sort of capacity of the business. Or ideally someone that you have had a referral from, is legitimate.
I think that would be a good one as well, just word of mouth, because like you said, you just So, and I guess that's why testimonials, 5-star reviews, they're
Totally.
so important,
100%,
right?
100%.
Well, why don't you just quickly give all your details to the camera? Who are you? Your website, how to find you, what platforms are you on? How do we get more information from you?
Awesome. Yep. Okay. Thank you. Yep. Dave from Supernova Search. It's supernovasearch.co.nz. And
are you on LinkedIn?
Yep, on LinkedIn. You can look up Dave McGregor on LinkedIn, and love to be connected.
Yeah, awesome. Dude, thank you so much. That was
cheers, mate.
so
Awesome.
freaking cool. That was so fun. Thanks, guys.
Cool. Awesome.